Also, we had a bunch of good stuff tonight in the SEC. We just got a final in Auburn. The Tigers, the home team, beat Arkansas 67-60. Janai Broome leads the way once again, National Player of the Year candidate. He was 7 of 15 from the field, 16 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, had himself another banner day. This was a nip and tuck, grind it out, tough game. Auburn needed a couple big free throws at the end to seal it, put away, but the Tigers end up getting another big win. They just find ways to win. And I could see coming off Alabama, it was an emotional game. It was on the road. It was one of those tough, gritty, kind of moments. I could see this being the classic trap. They got through it. And Goodman, to me, just another telltale sign of a championship caliber program that Bruce has put together.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. I mean, again, it wasn't pretty. They didn't make shots. They've made shots all year from deep. They didn't do that today. They actually went on a run without Janai Broome. He was on the bench. But at the end of the game, they know how to win games. Yep. And Arkansas, frankly, knows how to lose games, and that's kind of the difference here. It is. I mean, that's the difference. Chad Baker-Mazara he was aggressive getting the basket. He goes to the line. He makes some shots. Janai Broome makes a couple of shots. And, the one thing to me is still Denver Jones has been so good in the defensive end. If you look at what he did, I'd be curious to see the numbers. When he was matched up on Nelly Davis tonight, Nelly Davis did nothing. And this is every single game now for Denver Jones. So Auburn wins again. And it just feels like it's like every time we say it. Now, they're not blowing teams out like they probably have been more so earlier in the season, but they're winning games. And, again, they outscored, I'm looking at here, Arkansas 8-2 in the final 3 minutes of the game. So they know how to close these games out.
Somebody asked me a question, RC. If you took this Auburn Tiger team and juxtaposed it right now to Duke, and we're going to have a National Player of the Year conversation in a little bit, and I think right now a lot of people that I talk to say they're going to have one of those teams on the final line in their bracket. If you were to just take and compare them right now, I mean, Duke is whipping people's butt in the ACC. Now, somebody asked me this afternoon, if you took Duke and put them in the SEC, what would it look like if they had to run through the schedule? RC, what do you think? How do you compare? Because Auburn is finding ways to win. Duke is kicking people's butt. Is the league all the difference, or is Duke that much better?
Well, they're that much better than everyone in the ACC. And if you put them in the SEC, I think they'd be right there, challenging Auburn for the regular season SEC championship because they're elite defensive. They're really good defensively. Now, I do think the injury to Malik Brown, and we're talking about another shoulder injury, right? And and that's big for a defensive guy. Now, they don't need him to come in and inject offense, but his versatility and what he does as a backup to Malowach is what it changed to that team. We'll see how long he's out. They won't need him the rest of the ACC regular season, so he can take as much time as he needs. But I do think his value to that Duke lineup is incredible. So Auburn's the real deal to me. I think they're a team that I would, if you gave me a bet right now to say them to San Antonio, they're the one team that I feel as though I'd say they're going to make it to Final Four. Something can happen and they may not win a national championship. I just think they find ways to win. Today, Jeff mentioned, it wasn't pretty at all. This wasn't, Arkansas played hard, give them credit, they competed. They just find ways. It's always someone else steps up. Janai Broome's always anchors it, but everyone else chips up. Chips in, whether it's Miles one game, whether it's Denver Jones, it's just all Jihad. It's somebody's making plays for them, and they're not relying just on their Player of the Year candidate. So to answer your question, if Duke was in the in SEC, they're good enough. They'd be right there with Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee competing against Auburn.
I don't doubt that. Look at Goodman again. You're like a quick change artist on Broadway or Vegas or something like that. I love it. He's sneaky over there with the Auburn hat.
I got to make Hansbrough laugh. If I make Hansbrough smile, that's a good day. That's a good day for me.
They found a way to win tonight, Jeffrey, after beating Alabama in an emotional game, in a really exciting environment on the road. It was a bragging rights game. It was a game at the water cooler that Auburn fans have been talking crap to their Bama friends at all the businesses around in and around Alabama and Birmingham, especially where you have a lot of the melting pot businesses with Auburn and Alabama fans. So this could have been a letdown, and they avoided it. It's certainly a character win, but how do you are they legitimately the best team in your eyes?
Yeah. How do you argue that, right, Tyler? I mean, I don't think you can argue right now that Auburn's the best team in the country in anybody's eyes. Are they the most talented team? Probably not. Probably not. I mean, they've got talent, but other teams have more. I mean, Duke's got more high-end talent. We know that. They're going to have more guys drafted in the lottery. But what Auburn has is, again, they've got guys that play hard, that play with a chip on their shoulder. You know, most of the guys on this team, if you think about it, a lot of them were mid-major transfers, starting with their best player, Jani Broome. You know, Denver Jones, their best defensive player. They've got a lot of guys that, again, play with that chip on their shoulder, and winning all these games isn't going to change that. So I love this team. I've kind of fought it for the first probably 15 games of the season of I'm not sold on Auburn. They're going to come back down to earth a little bit. Well, they haven't. And you know how that is, Tyler. When you get that winning, right, you get that swagger in you that you kind of expect to win every game. That means something, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I'm watching the game tonight for some reason. Jeff, I'm like, I'm believing that Arkansas has a chance, and I'm thinking that in the first half, I'm like, man, I tell you what, this Arkansas team, they have some athletes, they can get up and run. It's just Auburn is a different team. They may walk into the NCAA tournament with one of the best resumes of any team ever to enter. There is no question they are the best team, and they can find multiple ways to win. And I've always said it, the Cardwell kid, I mean, he doesn't even care about scoring. All he cares about is being physical, controlling the paint, and dominating the boards. And when you have a guy like that playing and accepting his role and not trying to score or be superhero, it only makes your team that much better. And I love his mentality. The Cardwell kid doesn't get a lot of hype, but when he caught the ball on the top of the key, no one was guarding him, and he took it right to the rim and tried to just yoke it on all of Arkansas. That is a great mindset. And, I mean, Auburn is by far the best team in the country. Like Jeff said, maybe not the most talented, but they're going to walk into the tournament with the best resume. No question about it.